Can you believe it's 2023? I know I can't, but you know what that means? The new year marks a new opportunity for you to evolve into a better version of yourself. You've at least thought about a New Year's resolution or two that you want to live by over these next 12 months. New Year's resolutions are just statements that you think about and like you write down and you often go back to or refer back to throughout the year. But the reason I like goals better is because when I think about goals, I think about the end in mind first, and then I walk myself backwards and actually think about the steps that it's gonna take to get there. And in this video, I'm gonna talk about 3 ways that you can set yourself up for success this year. All right, so the first thing I wanna talk about is let's actually take some time this year to reflect on the year before. What happened? What didn't happen? It's really important that you take some inventory and actually sit down and think about what are the goals that you set last year for yourself? What are the resolutions that you even laid out for yourself? If you did, and if you didn't, that's okay. Sit down and think about each quarter or even each month and really think about and write down the things that you accomplished and think about some of the things that you wish you would have accomplished that you just didn't get to last year. So what does taking inventory help you to do? It helps you to simply understand what you accomplished and what you did not get to. And when you are able to take inventory, you can then move forward on to step number 2. Determine what gaps you didn't fill, what goals you didn't meet. And that's okay. That's exactly what taking inventory is for. Taking inventory isn't meant to make you feel bad about what you didn't do. It's meant to help you feel good about yourself, but also think about what you want to accomplish this year. And it's gonna help you set goals. So whatever you determined was potentially a gap last year that you didn't fill, a goal that you didn't meet, bring that on into your goals list for 2023, and that's exactly what you're going to focus on. So now that you've taken inventory, you know exactly what it is, just like I did, that you want to bring into the new year. And now that you know what goals you want to focus on in the new year, this is what separates New Year's resolutions from goals. Again, New Year's resolutions are just sayings, and goals, you actually need to sit down and write down your goals. One of my goals this year is to buy at least 1 investment property, but it's not enough for me to say I want to buy an investment property. That's a really, really large and can be a scary and stressful goal to try to attain. Actually, it can be quite overwhelming to think about buying an investment property when you think about the amount of money that goes into it, and also think about, I've never bought an investment property before. But there are certain things that I'm doing for myself to help me reach that goal. And when we think about overarching goals, there's a series of like very small repetitive actions that you have to do in order to reach a large goal like that. So what I've done is I've thought about the end in mind. I will know that I have reached my goal when I purchase my investment property. But thinking about the end in mind, now that I know that I want to do that, what are the steps that I'm gonna have to take to reach that particular goal? So I start backpedaling and thinking about each specific step I'm gonna have to take in order to achieve that accomplishment. In order for me to purchase my investment property, I am going to have to find a house. In order for me to find a home, I'm gonna have to get a realtor, right? In order for a realtor to be able to put an offer in for me on my behalf, I'm gonna have to get pre-approved. In order for me to get pre-approved, I'm gonna have to connect with a loan officer, right? But before I do all of that, I really wanna make sure that my credit is intact. I wanna make sure that my money is intact, right? Because when I go to get pre-approved, I wanna make sure that I'm gonna get the best interest rate possible. I also wanna make sure that I'm gonna have enough money in my bank account to put down whatever down payment I need to get to that point. So just wanted to share that example of how I have started with the end in mind, and I've backed myself out of that large goal all the way down into small deposits that I can make on a daily basis to help me reach that end goal by the end of 2023. Oftentimes we think that if we have failed at meeting goals, then we have failed altogether. So what is the point in setting goals anyways? And I want you to really reframe your thinking and understand that you're supposed to create stretch goals. And if you reach 80% of your goals, then you still are successful, and you can still bring the other 20% of what you were trying to do before, and you can work on that specifically in this new time period in your life. So what would happen during project management mode at work is we would set goals on an annual basis and say, by the end of the year, these are the goals that we want to accomplish. Then we would break that goal down into 4 actions or 4 smaller goals that we would need to accomplish on a quarterly basis. We would break down those goals even further into tasks that need to happen on a monthly basis. And then when we got to the month, we would break down those tasks even further into daily goals that we needed to meet to help us reach those monthly, those quarterly, and those annual goals. Instead of just thinking about one overarching goal, you can think about little ways that you can work towards those specific goals on a daily basis. So say you get to July and you determine that even though you've been putting in a ton of work over the last 6 months, it's gonna take a lot more than 6 months to reach that end goal. If you are continuously operating the way that you've been operating, that is a way that you can really sit down and you can look at what's going on, look at the whole picture and determine what changes you need to make to be able to reach that goal by the end of the year, or reset your goal and say, you know what, it's just not realistic for me to achieve this in the next 6 months, but what is realistic is for me to achieve it within the next 9 months. So let me go back and reset my goals over the next 3 quarters. And that's how you are continuously setting yourself up for success so that you can continuously evolve. So here's to growth, here's to progress over perfection. I am so excited to be evolving right along with you in 2023. If there are some other videos that you'd like to see me talk about, any other topics that you would like to hear me talk about, or if you would like for me to break down even further how I plan out my goals, drop some comments down below and I will be sure to get back to you. But until next time, I'll see you soon.